All right, welcome back to the GSK Wealth Builders show, where we document our journey to financial independence and personal freedom. In our community, we take responsibility for our financial future, we take back ownership of our personal data, and we crowdsource our research. Today, I'm going to be talking about why the best opportunity in 2022 is still crypto and how to get started. So, there are multitudes of reasons why crypto is the best way to invest. For those with small amounts of capital, this is a great way to turn it into large amounts of capital in a short period of time. There's no other asset that's appreciated at the speed that crypto has appreciated at in the past decade. Bitcoin has gone from 1 cent to $69,000. That is a 6.9 million % return in 10 years. So anyone who just had, $1 to put into crypto could have bought 100 Bitcoin, and that 100 Bitcoin, if they held it for 10 years, would be worth, 69,000 times 10 of them, right? So, $6.9 million. There is nowhere else where you can do that with just $1. There's nowhere else where you can do that with just $10. If you buy stocks, it's a 30-year period. So this presentation is why crypto is the best opportunity in 2022. So why crypto? Did you know that 50% of people are living paycheck to paycheck? 31%, when interviewed, say they already don't make enough to meet all of their financial obligations. 32% of people between the age 45 and 64 are nearing retirement without any savings. So that's 1/3 of people. 25% of retired people are still in debt with mortgages and consumer debt. And the way that they live is to take more debt on to live. These statistics are shocking, and a significant portion of the population is in crisis. Why do these statistics exist, especially amongst working professionals? Well, the average university graduate finishes school with more than $26,000 in student debt, and it takes them an average of 10 years to pay it off. So they're already getting into the work field, and they have debt that they have to pay, so they're unable to save and invest. Millions of millennials are locked out of home ownership because of the rising home prices, debt loads, and inability to save for a down payment. The number one way to build wealth previously to crypto was to own your own home. That way you have a stable expense where you can predict for the next 30 years, especially with fixed mortgages locked in for 30 years in the States. It's a little bit different in Canada, but you were able to usually own the home for cheaper than it was to rent. Now people can't save for a down payment to own a home, so they're not able to build equity. They're not able to grow and benefit from inflation. Don't feel defeated and don't be a statistics. It's time to take charge and start doing things differently. I believe that crypto will eventually emerge as the number one wealth builder, and you can start building wealth today. As a wealth builder, you must become really good at what you do, which is focusing on income generating activities. Then you use that income to take control of your investments and create freedom in your life. What's making this different is instead of giving your money to a financial advisor and they're going to charge you fees and you're really not going to make that much money. Have you ever heard of someone who's got rich from their financial advisor? Have you ever heard of someone who's bought a mutual fund and now they have a yacht? So you need to be able to take control of your financial freedom and invest. It is absolutely necessary to build wealth and create financial freedom in your life because it buys you time. When I talk about freedom, that's what I mean, is time freedom, to be able to do what you do with whoever you want, whenever you want, on your terms. Time is priceless and never comes back. Maybe some of these things will resonate with you. For example, I want to create extra income so I can be a stay-at-home parent. I was concerned with my retirement fund performance, and I was nervous about the next crash. Now, anyone with retirement funds, you would have noticed that the market has gone down significantly in the past couple of weeks. If you're nearing retirement this year, it would be very stressful. I wanted more freedom and flexibility in my life. I wasn't sure if my pension was still going to be enough when it was my turn to retire. Inflation is going out of hand right now. So will your pension be enough for when you retire? What do I do if I lost my job? A lot of people found that out last year. And how long could we survive on our income? Well, you need to have savings, you need to have emergency funds, and they actually have to be way more than what you expect. Inflation is outpacing my raise at work, and we're falling behind on our debts. This is just an Investopedia thing about a cup of coffee. So in 1970, a cup of coffee was 25 cents. 1980, 10 years, it almost doubled. 1990 to 2000, now it's 4x the cost of a cup of coffee in 1970. Today, in 2021, depending on where you're shopping, you're $1.50. If you're drinking nice coffee like Starbucks, it could be $6, $8 for a coffee. So inflation, wages are not growing at the same pace as inflation. Sometimes I just wanted to take one extra vacation each year. What if you could just invest maybe $1,000 and you turn it into $5,000, and that enables you to go on one vacation? That's what you can do. How am I going to be able to pay for big ticket items in life? Buying a house, having children, funding their education, retirement, and caring for elderly parents. What about weddings? What about the honeymoon? All of these things cost a lot of money, and the prices keep going up. So the big question is, how do we start doing things differently? One of the solutions that I have is you need to follow the data and you need to follow the money. So you need to ask, where is the largest bull market on earth? Right? Is it real estate? Is it stocks? Is it bonds? Is it investing in land? Is it starting a business? Is it working for a business? You need to find where is the largest bull market. And like I already mentioned earlier, right? Bitcoin has gone from 1 cent to $69,000. So this is an exact 10-year chart. I think Bitcoin's a little bit older than 10 years, right? So this is an exact 10-year chart. So as you can see at the bottom here, on November 30th, 2011, you could have bought Bitcoin at $2.75. And you would have seen multiple crashes. You would have seen a crash from $30 to $1. You would have seen a crash in 2014. You would have seen a crash in 2017 where Bitcoin went from $16,000 to $3,000. You've seen the crash yesterday where Bitcoin went from, I think, $56,000 to $43,000. However, overall, if you were just to hold, you would have a 206x return on your money. Now, if you don't have money, what you need to realize is that with crypto, the reason why I'm saying crypto is the best way to invest in 2022 is you don't need a lot of money. So this is called a dollar cost averaging chart. This is to assume someone didn't have any capital to start with, but they have a little bit of money. So, for example, if you're eating out on weekends, are you able to change, the bill and by $20 a week? If you can save $20 a week, in this case, this person would have saved $20 a week for 9 years. And in 9 years, that they would have invested $9,400. That $9,400 would be worth $1.9 million. 20,000% return, which is 205%. So that's just Bitcoin. Now, you didn't, maybe you didn't start 10 years ago. Well, Ethereum came out in 2015, right? So in 2015, if you would have invested $20 a week in Ethereum from January 2015 to December, it would be $6,000 total invested. Today, that would be worth $2.7 million. There was nowhere else where you have this kind of results. Now, let's talk about centralized finance versus decentralized finance. Follow the money, right? So if you look in 2018, JP Morgan Chase was worth $391 billion. Bitcoin was worth $276 billion. The total market cap of all the Bitcoins were 200. Ethereum was $112 billion. Now you fast forward to 2021. Bitcoin is a $1.1 trillion market cap. JP Morgan Chase is $488 billion. So if you would have bought JP Morgan Chase at, $391 billion, you would have been up to 488 billion, not even a 25% gain, right? So Ethereum went from 112 to 455 billion. So as you can see, look at Polkadot. It went from 50 cents to $37. So as you can see, crypto is just compounding at a higher rate, and it will continue over time. Decentralized exchanges. So these are exchanges where you can trade with people all over the world without knowing their identity, without logging in, without having, login password, just using your wallet. And in 2020, it was $0, right? And then in, July 2020, there was $4 billion worth of trades. Fast forward to January 2021, there's $62 billion. I would say that the trades are now over $100 billion a month. Average transaction fee. So it does cost to use the Ethereum network, right? So the average transaction fees from Ethereum went from less than $1, to over $50, and you're seeing crazy. Now, one of the downsides of crypto is Ethereum actually has scaling issues. So block percentages are mostly full. Almost all of the blocks in Ethereum are full, which means the price goes up. So if you look at fees, right? The fees to use these exchanges, Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. In the last 24 hours, when I took this screenshot 2 days ago, they had made $3.6 million in fees. In the last 3 hours, they had made $600,000, right? So you're looking at $3 million a day that these decentralized protocols are making. OpenSea to buy NFTs, $3 million a day in fees. This is too much. It's not acceptable. It's way too much. So we need to look for other alternatives other than Ethereum. If you look at the gas fees, which is, the costs to transact on the network, to use Uniswap, it's $100 now. So even though the coin has gone up in value, the fees are going up because there are some issues with these exchanges. Now, this is just the trading pairs. So in 2017, most of the trading pairs was with Bitcoin, right? And then basically Bitcoin and US dollars. Now today, what you're seeing is the US dollar tether is taking over. So now when Bitcoin goes down, the other coins that it trades with aren't crazy when it comes to the volatility. It does lead, but it's not as crazy anymore. Now we go to the volume by market pairs, right? Bitcoin used to be over 60% of the market pairs in trading. Now it's a small percentage in Ethereum, and then you have Sandbox, USDT, Mana. So there is now a lot of diversity in coins. There's a lot of options to buy crypto. So what I mean by follow the money now is the capital will flow where it's treated best. So when you first started out on Ethereum and everything was fine and it cost $1 a trade, it was nice. Now it's $100 a trade, $200 a trade, $400 a trade. So people are going to move from Ethereum to other platforms. That's where the opportunity is, because the opportunity is to go where people are moving. So we already know from the data where people are moving. So I've listed them right here. So you have Solana, you have AVAX, you have FTM, you have Pulse Chain, you have Luna, Arweave, and Cardano. So the reason why these are important is because these layer ones are competing with Ethereum that have cheaper fees. They're faster to use, they're more user friendly, and they're trying to build what Ethereum wanted to build in the beginning, but they move too fast. So Solana, for example, if you were to transact on the Solana blockchain, it's 0.00004 cents. To do the exact same transaction on the Ethereum blockchain is $200. So that is huge. So capital will flow to where it's treated best, right? So digital assets are a complex structure system, and gas fees are an integral part of the blockchain technology. You have to pay to play in blockchain. Where ETH has high fees to purchase a single NFT, Solana is what I was talking about. To purchase an NFT is 0.00025, making this extremely risk-free to dive into the ecosystem. A friend of mine, Mike, says, in my opinion, Solana will flip Ethereum based on UX alone. By the time ETH sorts themselves out, the ecosystem will be too convoluted to regain market share. ETH's role in history will be undeniable, though. So he's realizing that using Solana and other blockchains is important for people to grow, because it becomes a rich person's game. If it costs you $200 to invest and you only have $200, you can't do that. So you're going to go to Solana, you're going to go to Binance Chain, you're going to go to all these other chains where it's cheaper to invest. PayPal looks into Solana to scale payments network to push Solana closer to the breakout. PayPal looks into Polkadot and Ethereum killer projects to boost the scalability of its technology. So what PayPal is doing is they started getting into crypto, and they realize that the speed of a blockchain can be actually helpful for their payment networks. Payments take, hours and days to clear. Well, maybe it can take milliseconds, like in Solana. So PayPal wants to scale their payment networks, and they're looking into Solana. If they did a deal with Solana, that would be huge. So online payments platform is actively monitoring layer 1 and 2 platforms to scale payments, Fernandez quoted. I'm sure that if you asked me in 6 weeks from now, I could give you 4 or 5 different names. This is how exciting it is. So this is amazing. So I'm just going to talk about Solana because I believe this is one of the top blockchains to invest in for the long term. Solana is a high-speed single-layer blockchain, supporting peak transactions of 65,000 transactions per second, 400 millisecond block times, using a network timestamp system called proof of history. So all you really need to know, it's a high-speed blockchain. Blockchains are usually valued the most in crypto, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Solana, Cardano, these are all blockchains. This is a high-speed one, low cost. Right? So they have 80 active third-party validators and 50,000 community members on Telegram, Reddit, and Twitter. They raised over $25 million. Now, the other thing is they raised money from venture capital fund, Multicoin Capital Foundation, Distributed Global, Block Tower, NGC, Rockway Ventures. They usually have long time horizons, so they're going to hold. Now, what Solana offers is scalability, right? Decentralization with the propagation protocol, and of course the current cost is 0.004 per transaction. 23 November we have the data, right? So on 23 November we had 300 million Solana staked. Now the wealth distribution, the top 100 addresses actually have a significant portion of Solana, so that is a risk. However, whales don't need money. Right? If they're selling, it's because they've changed their mind on the market, they've changed their mind on the product, but they don't really need the money to live. It doesn't cost that much money to live, right? When you have billions of dollars, it still costs, millions to live or thousands to live. So they're not going to just sell significant portions, like I said, unless they change their mind. So following the money, following the data. So where is the bull market? Well, the bull market is in new tokens. It's in blockchains. It's in VR. Entertainment, memes, meme coins, gaming. So these are the spaces that you want to focus on because they are proven to have the best returns. So if you look at here, this is some of the data. So on Binance, when Binance launches a new coin, their ROI is tracked. So there was 23 Binance exchange offerings, and the average coin did 25,000% return, right? So 251x return on Binance. FTX has had 7 IEOs. The average coin has done 103x, right? 10,000%. If you look at Huobi, theirs was 45x. So this is just showing you that new coins like IPOs, but they're called IEOs, initial exchange offerings, the ROI is so high. Now, when you go to IDOs, these are decentralized platforms, right? So the average IDO on Seedify is 71x, 7,000% return. Red Kite 51x, BSC Pad 61x. So you really flip your money really fast on these. They are risky, but it's worth the risk. Now, when it comes to the categories of where these gains are coming from, VR, entertainment, memes, and gaming, that is where all of the the money is being raised, and that's where the returns are focused on. So your job overall is to find where the bull market is, right? Invest in growing infrastructure like blockchains, and then hold quality over quantity. So I only hold like 5 coins. I used to hold 20, 30 coins. It really doesn't make sense. So I only hold like 5 coins. Helium, Hex, Solana, Helium, Hex, Solana. Then I have Monkey Ball, which is not out yet, and Star Launch. That's it. Oh, and also Sandbox. So that's about it. So find the bull market by following the data, invest in growing infrastructure, and hold quantity over time. And that is why crypto is the best opportunity in 2022. And when you invest, you should be looking to invest in crypto in 2022. And when it comes to portfolio management, you can actually only use maybe 10% of your total portfolio, right? 10% of your total net worth. And you could come out where that 10% is worth more than the 90% of your other investments. So that is all for now. My name is Sam. This is GSK Wealth Builders channel. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you soon.